Latin dancers spend so much money on socials, privates, classes, dance festivals, intensive trainings, workshops. The list goes on, and we need to know what's worth it or not. And if you're thinking about joining a intensive with Patrick and Johanna, then this video is for you. I'll be sharing who this video is for, who it's not for, and spilling all the tea with my personal experience. So by the end of the video, you will know if you should go or not. Quick welcome to Deeper Dance Diaries. I just named my podcast, and I'm really excited to be documenting my dance journey and sharing all the things that come up as you learn how to dance. I'll also occasionally be sharing honest reviews of the different events that I go to just to give people an idea of what they're like. My intention is to share honestly about my experience. It's never to hurt anyone's business because maybe if it's not my cup of tea, it might be someone else's perfect cup of tea. If I've learned anything in the time that I've worked in marketing, it's that you will never appeal to everyone. I've always been told, for example, if you share on social media, if you try to speak to everyone, you will be speaking to no one, and it is true. And that's the beauty of all the different events that we have. We have the option to choose which one we go to, but sometimes you just don't know what you sign yourself up for, so my intention is to bring awareness to what some of these events are like. Okay, so let me spill the tea. As people, Patrick and Johanna are lovely humans. Even though there were 50 people at the intensives that I went to, whenever I spoke to them, they made me feel like I was the only person in that room, and a lot of other people had that same experience. They just make you feel very seen and understood. They were checking in on me during the experience. I felt very taken care of. You can really tell how much thought, how much work they've put into building this out. I love how they go around and give everyone a little bit of individual attention. They invite you into their home. They're very welcoming. One of the things I really admired about them was just how real they were. Like, they held nothing back. There was no gatekeeping, and at some points we all sat in a little circle and got to talk, and it felt like dance therapy. For me, it was really healing. I think at some point in the training, almost everyone was brought to tears in a good way. So who is the Fuze Intensive for? The Fuze Intensive is for you if you really appreciate learning in a progressive learning environment. This might be the former teacher in me, but what bothers me about a lot of intensives is that you're just thrown into the fire sometimes with no context, no foundational technique, nothing. On day one of the Fuse training, they first go over some fundamentals, which is really important just to make sure everyone is on the same page. Each day it progressively got harder, and honestly, I think that's the way that it should be. By the way, I went to the power and precision training. Each one of their intensives are different, so even if you've been to one before, you can go to another one and they will cover different concepts. This intensive is for someone who is ready to be challenged, ready to think outside of the box. You will be thinking outside of usual steps and roles in dance, like who is leading, who is following, and I think that is really important and builds character for all of us, no matter if you lead or follow. If you're interested in learning different ways to lead that don't necessarily involve a traditional frame, then this is for you. It really opens your mind, and even if you go to one of their trainings at a festival, you will see that they are not teaching you combos, they are teaching you a toolkit to really push the boundaries and try out different things just to see what happens and get creative in your dance. Patrick and Joanna might disagree with this, they might not, but I also believe that this training is more helpful for someone who has been probably social dancing around a year, I would say, just because I think you are able to absorb more of what they're teaching you. Like, even though I have been dancing for 3 years, I almost wish I had more experience leading, because in some of the games that we played, I had to lead. I had no idea how to do it, but I guess the point of it was to figure it out. Scratch that. Maybe that was their intention. And honestly, I do wish that I had some of these types of intensives earlier on in my journey. So maybe it could be helpful no matter where you are. There was just someone who was very overwhelmed in my cohort because he was just such a new dancer. Okay, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, it might actually be helpful for someone who hasn't been dancing for that long if you can let go of needing to get it right, needing to be perfect. I mean, no one's perfect, so whatever, but needing to be at a certain level and being okay with where you are, then it would be very useful. I would say this is for anyone who is wanting to take their dance to the next level, ready to be challenged, ready to learn. This is for someone who has gone to a number of different events and they're looking for something different. Hello from Editing Almadina. I also wanted to add, if you have ADHD or you get bored fast, then this is the perfect training for you because I did not feel bored at all. You're basically playing games the whole time and you get a lot of breaks built in, so it is really not as exhausting as a lot of other trainings that I've been to. Okay, so let's get into who this training is not for. If you're wanting to go to a traditional intensive where you are learning choreo, memorizing pattern, learning new steps, not for you. This is not for you if you are not wanting to develop your own dance style. Patrick and Johanna are not going to be teaching you how to dance like them, how to become mini PNJs on the dance floor. It's not going to happen. They're not teaching you a particular style, even though when you watch them as dancers, you can tell that they kind of have like a contemporary hip hop. I'm not even sure what background, but you can see it. But that's not what they're teaching. One person at the end of the intensive that I went to told me that it just wasn't for them because they prefer learning more with a traditional frame. And they teach you different ways that you can lead, like from the arm, from the back, from the hand, from the body, like whatever, wherever it is, just different ways of getting creative with how you lead. And that's okay, it's not going to be for everyone. Okay, and they are not the instructors for you if you are sensitive to colorful language. Their motto is literally FAFO, fuck around and find out. And that's what a lot of their methodology is based off of, and they will throw around F bombs and things like that. I personally loved it because I tend to have some colorful language, but if that's not for you, then you should know that. Two little side things to know. One, the studio that they were currently at, the Amaya dance studio, it fluctuates in the temperature, so just wear layers because it can be hot or a little cold depending on the day. The only piece of feedback I gave them was surrounding the food. I just suggested more protein rich snacks and meals. They took my feedback. Overall, I believe that this is a training that all bachata dancers need at least once in their life. I think anyone would benefit from it. I really learned how to follow better, even a little bit of how to lead. I observed myself learning to trust more, make decisions faster. I started showing more emotion in my dance and playing with musicality. They really do a good job of making the learning digestible for everyone so that you're not getting overwhelmed. I asked a couple of my dance friends from that cohort to share their honest experiences or comments, and this is what they said. This one is from Ellen Gates in Orlando, Florida. She said, "Their intensives are a deep dive into body movement and dance technique. I really enjoy the structured way they layer information so it's digestible. And then the drills make it applicable to practice in your body. You get the mind-body connection." The second one is from Tasha in Asheville, North Carolina. "I truly adore Patrick and Joanna's teaching methods and philosophy of dance. Their classes aren't like anyone else's. They truly care about what is best for their students. In their intensive, we used various exercises to deepen our understanding of moves, but more importantly, to create a felt sense of flow, connection, and trust in ourselves and with a partner. I absolutely recommend training with them." Okay, just to close out, I definitely recommend it, but if you've been, feel free to leave your honest thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. I would also love honest feedback on what you think about this idea. Like, are you actually interested in getting a review on what different events are like, or am I just making this up in a vacuum? I used to be a travel creator, so this partially scratches that itch for me. My hope is that we all benefit from this. Students get to the events that they want to go to. Organizers get the word out to the students that cater to them. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube for weekly episodes. And if you're feeling crazy, find me on Instagram at Bachata Mariposa. See y'all on the next one. I just finished recording and sat down to eat, and I remembered this really important thing that I forgot to share, and that is I am in no way affiliated with Fuze. All these thoughts and opinions are my own.